Amandla. Amandla. Viva EFF, viva. Viva EFF, viva. Tata EFF Osizweni, tata. Tata EFF Newcastle, tata. Tata EFF Amajuba, tata. Amandla. Down with sellouts, down. Down with criminals, down. Siyabonga, thank you very much. No pala chikelele. Sibingelele abazali etenteni. Sibingelele abukomisa bonke. Regional leadership and our provincial leadership. And greet you all, the ground forces of the EFF. We are happy that you are doing a wonderful job in an area where the IFP thought they can do as they wish. We are here to show them that the EFF exists everywhere. Whether by Atanda, Abatandi, Ikona, EFF, KwaZulu Natal, and Amajuba region. So we are here to stamp our authority that we are the only national organization that can organize itself in every corner of South Africa. You will find the fighters there. The IFP will never have a rally in Umtata. The IFP will never have a rally in Cape Town. They can't have a rally in Soweto. They only exist here because they are a regional tribalistic organization which doesn't want to unite the people of South Africa. The people of KwaZulu Natal belong to the whole of South Africa. We are one thing. We are one nation of South Africa. So we are not around to divide black people. Black people cannot afford to be divided. When the IFP was formed, it was not formed to be a political party. It was supposed to be a cultural group. And then in the process, Ushenge hijacked it and turned it into a political party. It is never a political party. That's why it never had a presence anywhere else except in KwaZulu Natal. So we're going to take it out and reduce it to a cultural group where we dance Maskandi and all of those in IFP and leave politics to serious politicians and to serious political parties. How do you have the whole mayor, Kolani Dube, shooting at a resident, the whole mayor of the IFP shooting a resident who's asking about a water project which involves 100 million of your money? Kolani Dube is a thug, he's a criminal, and he must known for that. How do you take Inkabi and make it a mayor? Because he doesn't know anything about mayorship. All they know is to go around intimidating people, is to go around behaving like gangsters. We must teach those gangsters, we must teach those Inkabis on the 29th of May that Amajuba, Newcastle does not belong to criminals. We want proper organization to lead this municipality and our provincial government. This municipality is not stable because the power is in wrong hands. We need to remove the IFP, even if it means teaming up with Team Sugar to remove the IFP. We will do it together to remove the IFP. Because the enemy of our people is the IFP. So fighters, you must know that we are fighting for people to get water. We will never fight against people who are demanding water. We believe their struggle for water is a genuine struggle. It's a struggle we must support. We must give each and every house piped water There shouldn't be a house without running clean water for our people. There shouldn't be a house without electricity, because electricity and water are the most basic rights which government must give to us. If they fail to give us everything, at least if they give us water and electricity, we will know this is the beginning of good things. We want RDP houses built here, and proper RDP houses that are completed. No house must be left uncompleted. Every house, if a beneficiary is called out to say your house is out, that beneficiary must know that their dignity is restored. Abu Kogo in the tent there have registered for houses since 1997. Some of them even died before they got the RDP houses. We cannot afford to wait any longer. We have to restore the dignity of our people. It is not a house if it looks like a box of matches. A house can have 4 corners. It's too obvious. A house must have jigas, corners, to show that this is a proper house. Even the roof must have a certain shape to demonstrate here stays dignified people. Every house of the EFF will have 3 bedrooms. Every house of the EFF will have a dining, will have a kitchen, will have a bathroom with a flushing toilet inside, because we don't want a house without a flushing toilet. When you say it's a house but it doesn't have a flushing toilet, you must know it's not a house. It's a glorified mukuku, because only a house will have a toilet inside, a flushing toilet. You can't have flushing toilet without water. You can't have flushing toilet without electricity. Let's restore the dignity of our people. You can go anywhere in our township, Osizweni or whatever township you want to go to. You will never find a white hobo, simply because they suspect there may not be a flushing toilet there. Even white hobos, a homeless white hobo doesn't go to a toilet that doesn't flush. Not single white hobo will go and help himself in the bush. But we are allowed to do that. We are made to do that. No white hobo will ever stay in a house without water. I was told by a hobo in Polokwane who came to me and said he's asking for 100 rand. I asked him, what do you want to do with 100 rand? He said, no, there is a place there where we pay 100 rand to sleep per night. I said, but sleep here on the pipes like the rest, because you don't have a place. He says, no, I can sleep here. The problem is that in that place, there is hot water. So I can't wake up and not shower with the hot water. That is a white hobo that never forgets that he's a human being, that never forgets that he deserves to live like a human being. We have not started even to get water. Leave hot water. That's why hot water looks like Lazarus to us. We are still right at the beginning, where we are asking for water, where white hobo can't sleep if there is no hot water. We deserve to live better than white hobos. So we are going to restore the dignity of our people so that they too can be treated as human beings. We need the land to be returned into the hands of our people. The struggle for the land for the EFF started here in Newcastle. They even prosecuted us for demanding the land in Newcastle. We will never stop. No amount of prosecution will stop us from demanding the restoration of the land into the hands of the rightful owners. We want RDP houses to be on a bigger land. The whole house must not occupy the whole yard. If it does that, it refuses you to dream. When you have a big yard with a beautiful house, you are able to get out and look at your yard and say, I can do a vegetable that way. Sometimes you even say, I can extend this house. When I work, I will have enough space to extend this house. But with the current RDP of the ANC, they are condemning you into permanent poverty. Even if you want to dream, you look at the land, you're like, even if I want to extend, where will I do that? Because there is no land. 2 steps outside, you are next door. So you can't have that. We need you to own your own land. When you have no land, you have no dignity. That's why the whites were calling our parents boys and girls. They were not just calling them boys and girls because they looked short. No. Only children will not own property. Only boys and girls will not own property. The fact that our parents did not own property, that reduced them to boys and girls. Because if you don't own property, you are not respected by anyone. You must look at anyone who stays in a shack, an old man who comes from a wedding after having 2-3 drinks, and he arrives at his shack. He's going to be pointing. And some of you think he's pointing a shack. They never point a shack. They point down. He says, Kukwamela. Pointing at the land. That it doesn't matter how poor I am. One day, my things are going to be proper. I will build myself a beautiful house because I've got a piece of land. So piece of land brings confidence in people. Piece of land brings a sense of pride in everyone. We want you to have factories. We want you to own the mines. We want you to own the farms. You will never own any of those things if you don't own the land. We can't rely on ANC, EPWP jobs. Those are not jobs. That is a bribery for elections. They use those things to buy votes. After votes, you don't get called to work. After votes, you don't get paid. So we are going to make sure that the jobs we create are much better than EPWP. They are permanent. They've got leave days. They've got a pension fund. Comrades, we must make sure that we insource all the security guards who are working for government buildings, government facility, and everywhere else government is involved, including state-owned enterprises. A company like AXA that looks after the airports, all the security at the airport, they must belong to AXA. The security that looks after clinics, after departments, must belong to government, because those companies are exploiting the security guards. In Johannesburg, we insourced security guards. After insourcing security guards, we realized we were paying 15,000 per security guard to a private company, and they were giving the guard 3,500. So we cut out the company, and then we brought the security guard inside the municipality. We gave them 17,500 per month. We gave them medical aid. We gave them leave days. We gave them pension fund. We did that, as EFF at Vets University, where we found workers, cleaners exploited, saying they are working for private company. But the lecturer works for the university directly. A lecturer is paid a good salary. We agree with that. We don't have a problem. But the lecturer's children go to the university free of charge as part of benefits of the lecturer. But the cleaner's children must pay to get into the university. We stopped that. We fought against that, insourced those cleaners. Today, their children go to Vets University free of charge as benefits to their mothers. Because a lecturer is a worker, a cleaner is a worker. They all must enjoy the workers' rights. Every time I go to Vets University, those cleaners are always running to me. They can't stop thanking the EFF for what we did for them. One of the security guards told me that the father was working in the municipality in Johannesburg for 30 years. When he retired, he went back home in Limpopo. He did not have anything to show that he was a worker for 30 years. The reason being that every 3 years, there is a new security company. They exchange hands with this old man. The last company said, you are too old. You are now released. When he gets released, he's got nothing to show that he has been working for 30 years. We want to change that as the EFF. We want to make education free of charge. We want children to start going to school at 3 years. A child at 3 years must go to early childhood development. And that child must be taught like white people's children. Our children go to school when they are too old. Children of white people, at the age of 3, they are already counting. 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4. Yours, you left them with abogogo. Abogogo are not trained to teach children. That's why they teach them in Fanaka law. You don't even hear the language they use when they teach them how to speak. Ta, te, ta, 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 sha, sha. Then the white person is already saying 1 + 1. Yours is tate. So when they go, they first see 1 + 1 when they are 7 years at grade 1, and that is too late. They say our children are behind, they can't think. It's not true. They did not grow up inside the education system. They started very late. That's why we must start them when they are young, so that they don't struggle going forward. Comrades, at primary, at secondary, education must be free. Not only education, school uniform and shoes must be free of charge. They are saying, where will the money come from? I always tell them, the money will come from where you get the money to buy free uniform for prisoners. Prisoners get free uniform every 6 months, but our children don't have free uniform. Our children have to go to prison first before they know free education. Education is free in prison. Water is free and is reliable. No prisoner has got no flushing toilet. No prisoner has got no electricity. All the prisoners who were arrested 10 years ago, they don't know what is load shedding. If you say, hey, snaking a load shedding, because they've never seen load shedding. In every prison, there is a generator. Prisoner eats breakfast, eat lunch, eat supper. It's guaranteed. Yet, you are not guaranteed of where the next meal will come from. I'm not fighting with prisoners. You can give them those things, but you have to give us more than the prisoners, because we have to live better than the prisoners. We did not commit any crime to anyone. That's why I say to them, why do you give children feeding scheme at school all the time? They say, because they can't learn with an empty stomach. Yeah, I agree with you. But what happens between the first period and the break? Because they only eat during break. What happens in the morning? Because they might come to school with an empty stomach. How do you know that the stomach is not empty? You will know if you give them food. You must give them breakfast, because prisoners get breakfast. You must give them lunch, because prisoners get lunch. Our children must live better than prisoners and white hobos. Fighters, we are going to make sure that we increase the social grants of Abu Gogo from 4,000 upwards, because no Gogo must get less. I said to you, prisoners eat supper in prison. These children were going to give them breakfast and lunch. Where is supper going to come from? So we have to now put money at home by giving Abu Gogo 4,000 rand upwards, and by making sure Abu Gogo, they don't pay for water and electricity. Because you say they are poor and you give them social grant, but you come back and steal the same money as government. Because this thing that there is municipality, there is provincial government and national government, it's a lie. We are one government. That's why government can give Newcastle municipality the grants to do roads, the grants to do water infrastructure. That is one government. So once they give you SASA, they must now go to the municipality and say, these are our people who will subsidize their water and electricity, because we must put more money at home so that we fight poverty. Uyabona Abu Gogo, when you give them money, you are guaranteed this money is going to feed the poor of the poorest. On the day of the social grant day, they don't buy a quarter of bread and a can of Coke. They buy the full chicken, live chicken, and then buy a bag of meal. Go and put it behind the door. And then when a poor person, you think that bag of meal belongs to your family, you are going to realize when a poor woman walks in and says, "Gog, I don't have food. We slept with an empty stomach yesterday." That time the bag is finishing. She's going to say, "No, bring a bucket there. Let me give you something." When she leaves, you are going to protest and say, "Why do you give her when you can see the bag of meal is finishing?" Hey, I'm thinking about the children. The children will have to eat something. That's how they fight poverty. Abu Gogo Nabumkulu every day, because they are the ones who deal with the poor of the poorest. You want soldiers on the ground that fight poverty. Those are your soldiers who are going to fight poverty directly. We have to increase a child grant to 1,000 upwards, because we said we want supper at home. We said we want food at home. So we can't have food at home if these children are not given money. We have to give them money, and we must do so as a caring government deliberately. We don't care who says what. Our children will not go to sleep with an empty stomach. When I say we are giving children 1,000 upwards, I do not mean children must make children. Children must go to school. We said education is going to be free. Don't make a child when you are a child. You are embarrassing the whole of Osizweni, because when you are teenage pregnancy, they don't say Malema's family teenage pregnancy. They say Osizweni teenage pregnancy. Don't embarrass us. Don't be stupid now. The education is open. Go to school. Even at university, education is going to be free of charge. No one is going to pay for registration fee. No one is going to go around asking for affidavits. Affidavits to do what? When I come to your school, why are you asking me about my mother? Do you want my mother or do you want my brains? If you want my brains, look at my result. You will know who you are looking for. Only my results must earn me a seat in the college, in the university. Stop asking me if my mother is working. And if she's not working, I must go to an affidavit. When you say to me, go and do affidavit, you are asking me to go around display my poverty. Oh, I'm poor. Oh, no one is proud of displaying poverty. We display poverty once when we register for SASSA. That data of SASSA must go to universities and everywhere else. When you bring your ID, the system must show this is your father, this is your mother is a beneficiary, your father passed away. Don't ask me to bring a death certificate after you gave me a death certificate and said my father is dead, and you are now asking me to come and prove that my father is dead after you gave me a death certificate. Only a government of fools will demand such things. We want our clinics to open 24/7. No clinic must close at 4 o'clock. A clinic must have an ambulance. Fighters, ambulance is not a sophisticated car. It's CIC. They just remove the seats and put the bed and some medical equipment inside. So they must not make it sound like it is going to be so difficult to bring ambulances, so expensive. No. If we can have so many CIC on the road, we can have so many ambulances in each and every ward in Newcastle, in Amachuva region. Comrades, why do you close a clinic at 4 o'clock? Because we don't get sick only during the day. Our women don't give birth only during the day. So what kind of madness is this? When you go to a hospital, you have a problem of the eye, they give you Panado. When you have a problem of the knee, they give you Panado. You say my stomach is running, Panado. Why? There is no medication at the hospital. There is no medication in the clinics. So how are they called hospitals if they don't have medication? Because what makes that building a hospital is medical equipment and medicine. If it doesn't have those things, it's another building. It's not deserving to be called a hospital. Abu Koko, when they are sick, and you say, I'm taking you to a public hospital, they cry tears. They refuse. They say, don't take me there. You say, why? They say, I'm going to die if you take me there. Why? Because our hospitals have become mortuaries where people go to die. We must never allow that. We must turn our hospitals into proper health facilities which are going to take care of our people. Fighters, we must fight crime. This thing of nyaupe, we don't want it. Osuzweni can be a place of nyaupe and drugs. And then the police don't do anything about it because they are the ones who are transporting drugs in those cars of the police. They transport drugs inside the ambulances. No, we are going to fight the corrupt police of Newcastle, and we are going to make sure that we fight gangsterism in Newcastle. We can never succeed without proper police on the roads. Fighters, let me tell you, when a criminal is about to commit crime, they first check the coast. That's why they go up the road and go down the road to check the coast. When you are busy checking the coast, you see a police van, you are going to be discouraged from doing crime. That's why we want police visibility. The only way we are going to fight crime successfully is when we have police visible on our roads. I came here all the way to here. I never saw a police van. Why do I meet a police van here? What does the police van do here? No one knows. Because no one is a criminal here. They must go and fight criminals out there on the streets of Osizweni, because here there is no criminal. We are not scared of IFP when we are here. We are not scared of the ANC when we are here. We don't need police. We will police ourselves. Police must go and fight criminals. Police must arrest criminals. And police, every criminal who points a gun at a policeman should have said goodbye at home, because you are not going back home. That day you are going to meet your maker. General Mkwanazi, Commissioner of Police, that is the man we want in the whole of South Africa, because he doesn't negotiate with criminals. Just yesterday, he dropped 4 of them who were trying to commit cash in transit. Comrades, you don't want to die, stop doing crime. Because when you kill our people, then the state will have to defend our people. This Newcastle is number 1 with GBV, where women are being beaten in the whole of South Africa. It must be fought. We don't want GBV. We don't want men who are cowards, who beat up women. We want men who fight for their land and protect the women of South Africa. We want police who don't laugh at women and men who report GBV. They must act on it, and act on it with immediate effect. Fighters, we are going to create jobs. These jobs we are going to start in the police. We need more policemen on the street. We need more police women on the street. And we are going to hire you to go and become policemen and women and look after South Africa. This corruption of hiring people in the Newcastle municipality because they are ANC and they have got political connection must come to an end. This corruption of saying they want to sleep with you before they give you a job, the IFP councillors and ANC councillors, they are going to be arrested for rape. Once you sleep with someone against their will, but because you are bribing them with sexual exchange, that must be fought and it must be confronted as rape, so that everyone never say to young women, sleep with me in exchange for a job. That should be declared a crime in South Africa. Siyacela abogogo nabomkhulu on the 29th of May. Sicela ukuthi liyekele uShembe noMandela uMadiba balale. Lengathi hayi thina sihamba noShembe, sihamba ne-ANC Congolose. Mina ngivotela uMandela, hayi ulelo Mandela, please leave him to rest in peace. Because these people are abusing Mandela's name. They come to you and say, I vote for Mandela. This is Mandela's party. This party doesn't look like Mandela. Even this president of the ANC doesn't look like Mandela. If you doubt that, Ugogo, please go and look at the picture of the current president and check if he looks like Mandela. If you are in doubt, just look at the nose. You will see they don't look the same. You will see this one is not Mandela. Abu Gogo, during COVID, they said they are going to give you food parcels. They brought the food parcels, but they were given to ANC members, and ANC councillors opened spaza shops with COVID food parcels. They digged 1 million graves for us. They said we're all going to die. Today, standing before me are the survivors of the ANC attempted murder. They wanted to kill us. Today, we are alive. When they come to you on the 29th of May, you must remind them that you digged graves for us. 1 million graves. Do you remember that? When they say yes or okay, that's where we are going to bury the ANC in those graves. 1 million graves are going to bury the ANC. Fighters, no alcohol on the 29th of May. If you love alcohol more than your land, you must know you are a sellout. If you go to a voting station drunk, you must know your decision will not be sober. We are not saying we are closing alcohol. You've got an important appointment on the 29th of October. For once, just be sober and go and take a sober decision on the 29th of May. Fighters, 29th of May, you are going to an interview. How can you go to an interview drunk? When you arrive there, they are going to give you a question paper called ballot paper. You take that into a voting booth. You start interviewing yourself. What do I want? You need to answer that question yourself. They can buy you fridges. They can buy you stoves and everything. But when you go to a voting booth, that thing is like a mini heaven. The truth, the real you, comes out when you are in that box. That's why you say, I might have taken the money, but I don't want these people. This is what I want. When they say to you, some of them will be thinking that you don't know English. Some of them will be hearing you speak English for the first time. You say, enough is enough. Once they hear enough is enough, you take the first ballot paper, EFF. Second ballot paper, EFF. Third ballot paper, EFF. Because 29 May 2024 is our 27 April 1994. 29 May is Freedom Day. 2024 is our 1994. The real Freedom Day will come on the 29th of May. Economic freedom is coming on the 29th of May. We've got an appointment with the future on the 29th of May. You must make sure that when you wake up in the whole of Amachuba, in Newcastle, stand outside your house, look at the direction of Pretoria, you'll see the Union building with the red flag flying on top of the Union building, because that will be a liberated zone. Amandla! Amandla! Forward to victory, forward! Forward to victory, forward! Nyabasabana! Nyabasabana! Siyabonga. Thank you very much. Thank you.